The mainstream media has truly let the public down, not only by failing to hold this administration accountable, but also by refusing to seriously examine the issues they continue to hide. And I'm not just referring to past scandals like Epstein. I'm talking about real concerns surrounding Donald Trump's health. It's become increasingly apparent that the former president may be showing signs of cognitive decline, yet the mainstream press rarely asks tough questions about it. Even when moments of confusion happen right in front of the cameras, they seem to look the other way. Today's press event was another clear example, where Trump appeared to rely heavily on his team for assistance. We'll break down exactly what happened and what it could mean. But before we get into that, please take a moment to like this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us continue bringing you independent coverage. Now let's start where Trump began, with his favorite topic, himself and his ballroom.
So we're building right behind us, we're building a ballroom. They've wanted a ballroom for 150 years. And I'm giving that honor to this wonderful place. I think we should do it. This was the ballroom, and this room holds 88 people, and the new one will hold 999 people, which is a difference. I say 999 because I didn't want to crack 1,000. I didn't want people to get concerned because that's getting big. But we're going to have we'll have the most beautiful ballroom in the country. It's going up, and for those that are interested, we got to get back to baseball. But you see the gold drapes? That's a knockout panel. We knock it in, you go, that comes out, and then you have essentially glass and exactly in the decor of the White House. I didn't know I'd be standing here right now because right on the other side, you have a lot of construction going on, which you might hear periodically. But that's a knockout panel, and that goes right into the ballroom, and the ballroom's going to be beautiful. So you'll have drinks, cocktails, everything on this floor, and then they'll say, "Welcome to dinner." You walk into the ballroom, Mr. Senators, and you're going to see a ballroom the likes of which I don't think it'll be topped. It'll be the finest. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I just started.
I don't know if you've seen the recent photos, and honestly, I almost didn't want to show them because they're just so disappointing. But they also perfectly capture what so many see as a reflection of Donald Trump's time in office. Today, reports surface that the East Wing of the White House is being significantly altered so that Trump can build an extravagant new ballroom, something that few people actually asked for or believe is necessary. It's not just about construction. It's symbolic of a much deeper concern. The renovation represents how Donald Trump has approached his presidency over the past 9 months. As though he's planning to stay indefinitely. You don't commission a massive personal ballroom if you expect to be leaving soon, and that's what makes this so alarming. These changes, along with the pressure he continues to place on his allies, paint a picture of someone seeking to reshape government in his own image. It's the very thing critics have warned about. And yet, Trump himself seems to embrace that image, even sharing digitally altered videos online showing himself as a crowned ruler. So, this ballroom isn't just a ballroom. It's a symbol of wealth, self-celebration, and a desire for admiration. It also reflects how Trump appears more focused on personal legacy and image than on meaningful historical impact. From new monuments to large-scale redesigns, it seems clear that he wants his mark on Washington to be permanent. And that's deeply concerning, especially as he continues to make changes that could reshape critical parts of our government, including our healthcare system.
Deductions ever taken, job producing deductions, $50 billion to rural hospitals. We took care of Medicaid, Medicare, we took care of everything. And we did something that people didn't know. We didn't know where we'd stand in a year or 2 years from now. So we put every single thing that we wanted in that bill for 4 years. So we don't need any more votes. All we want to do is have a vote of continuation. And it's the first time in history that a group has not voted for continuation. So they have what's called a Trump derangement problem. Have you heard about that problem? because that's the only reason this could be possible. But I think we're doing very well. I think they're going to have no choice but to go along because the country is setting records in every way, and people want it to continue that way. So we're hoping the Democrats become much less deranged and that we will get the vote pretty soon. And I hear they're starting to feel that way too. They're starting to feel like they really have to do what's right for the country, and they will. But I want to just...
What exactly has Donald Trump improved or changed for the better? What has he actually fixed? When it comes to healthcare, especially programs like Medicare and Medicaid, the situation is worrying. Many Americans are now facing the reality of rising healthcare costs, with some seeing their premiums double or even triple. And when asked about it, Trump didn't really offer a clear plan or explanation. It was mostly vague, unfocused remarks, the kind we've unfortunately come to expect. Yet, the mainstream media rarely presses him on these issues. They continue to overlook what appears to be growing confusion and disorganization in his public appearances. There are real questions about whether Trump is fully engaged and aware of what's happening around him. It often seems that close advisors like Stephen Miller are guiding much of the operation. And in one recent instance, after Trump announced that Herschel Walker would be joining his administration in an ambassadorial role, it became especially clear how much he depends on his team for direction. These moments raise serious concerns about leadership and decision-making inside his circle.
NFL too, and he's a great person. And now he's going to be the ambassador. Come on, name the country, Herschel. He's going to be in the tough job. That's a tough job, right? We'd like to have that job a little bit. We're leaving tonight.
Aaron Rupar tweeted this video saying, "Come on, name the country Herschel." Trump seems to forget which country he named Herschel Walker the ambassador to. It's hard to believe, but in a recent moment that quickly went viral, it looked like former football player and Trump ally Herschel Walker had to step in to help Donald Trump during a public appearance. The situation was surreal and symbolic, highlighting the sense that things inside Trump's circle are often chaotic and uncertain. Moments like this make it clear why so many people question who's actually guiding decisions around Trump. In recent clips, his closest advisors, like Stephen Miller and others, appear to be the ones shaping messaging and strategy, while Trump seems more focused on image and spectacle. Whether it's gold-plated decor, massive new ballrooms, or redesigning spaces like the Rose Garden, his priorities seem centered on self-promotion and personal legacy rather than policy substance. At the same time, figures in his orbit continue pushing controversial plans, including harsh immigration proposals, while Trump himself focuses on appearances and loyalty. It often feels less like governance and more like an effort to secure his own position, to make the presidency and even the White House itself a reflection of him. And while some headlines try to frame concerns about his leadership around age, the real issue isn't how old he is. It's the clear signs of confusion and inconsistency that continue to appear in his speeches and decisions. Despite these ongoing issues, mainstream media outlets often avoid addressing what's plainly visible. That's why independent journalists and creators, including platforms like Midas Touch, have made it their mission to cover every moment the traditional press overlooks. Because when we show Trump as he truly is, not as the strong figure he tries to project, but as someone increasingly out of control and losing credibility, the institutions that once enabled him start to step back. We've already seen it happen. When the public organizes, speaks out, and supports accountability, the truth wins. And that's why it's so important to continue challenging the double standards in coverage, especially when it comes to Trump's increasingly erratic public behavior. Something journalist Nicole Wallace recently responded to in this clip.
Study in contrast. Here are Presidents George W. Bush and President Barack Obama when confronted by public opposition to their policies.
Democracy is a beautiful thing, and that people are allowed to express their opinion. I welcome people's right to say what they believe.
I've listened to you. I heard you. I heard you. I heard you. All right? Now, I've been respectful. I let you holler. All right? So let me nobody's removing you. I've heard you, but you've got to listen to me too.
Believe me, no president likes to see the public turn out in large numbers against them and their agenda. But when it does happen, as you saw there, every one of them understands that it is the people's right to exercise free speech and to criticize their elected leaders at the top of their lungs. And that very thing is what makes America great. That is what makes America America. It's what makes us special all around the world. Until right now. Donald Trump showed the world what he thinks of the American people by literally broadcasting an image of himself pouring feces all over America and the American people. The No Kings protests clearly getting deep under Donald Trump's skin over the weekend. But more importantly, the protests show the contours of a new opposition in America, one led by the people. According to the organizers, 7 million people came out to protest Donald Trump on Saturday. More than 100,000 people marched in New York City. In Chicago, the march at one point stretched 22 blocks. But the protests were hardly confined to big cities in blue states. Here's what the No Kings protests look like in Anchorage, Alaska. Thousands of people taking to the streets. And the protests included people protesting from all walks of life.
I'm exhausted by the constant double standard, and I'm going to keep calling it out right here on this show. If you want to help support that mission, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a like on this video. And if you made it all the way to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments, and until next time, I will see you soon.